morning. Should have had my stuff together. I hope you're doing well today. I wanted to start our class off this morning, which will be a gentle sequence done with the chair as well as with the wall. But a little bit of a reading from Judith Lassiter's book, A Year of Living Your Yoga, Daily Practices to Shape Your Life. So she offers a quote, and then she gives a little information on how to live your yoga outside of the yoga studio. So her quote is, "Fun can take me away from my life. Enjoyment takes me into my life." And then how do we do it outside the studio? Fun can be something we use to escape from our lives. Enjoyment is the sweetness of noticing your life right now. The sunset, the taste of cool water, the smell of clean sheets. Find something to enjoy right now. And I hope you're all taking time to do that every day. When I walked into the studio this morning, the beautiful purple flowers that was greeting me at the door just made me smile this morning. So find something that brings enjoyment to your heart. So I'm going to set the book and my glasses off to the side, and we'll go ahead and get started with our sequence. So you'll need a chair. Have with you either 2 blankets or 2 beach towels, 2 blocks, and if you don't have blocks, we'll just make do with blankets today or your beach towel. And also a strap or a tie, or you could even use a belt. So let's begin seated. Have the knees stacked directly over top of the ankles. Thigh bones are parallel. Ground into your buttock bones and lift up through your spine. And lengthen out through the crown of the head. So today, I don't have my back body positioned up against the back of the chair, but please know that if that's more comfortable for you, then please slide back and use the support of the chair. Choose a position for your palms. Palms down or palms upward. One will feel better than the other. Choose the one that's happy for your body. Now, you can close your eyes or just drop your gaze down towards the floor. One of those positions for the eyes will be better. So choose one that suits your body's needs today. So ground your feet into the mat. Ground the buttock bones into the chair. And lift your spine upward. Support the lift of the spine by drawing the bottom of the belly in and up. Lift your breastplate. Broaden across your collarbones and soften the shoulder blades down. And then gently lift upward through the crown of the head. Take a moment to connect in with your breath. And as you connect in with your breath, offer a moment of gratitude for that breath. That breath that gives you purpose. So now bring your right hand up underneath your collarbones and your left hand to your belly. And again, connect in with the breath. Notice as you inhale, the belly and the chest and hands rise forward. And as you exhale, feel those parts soften. Now release your hands down to the thighs and see if you can reconnect in with the rise and fall of the belly and the chest. Let's take one more breath here. And then gently open your eyes and lift your gaze. So let's start by taking the hands out to the side. Inhale your arms upward. Interlace your fingers and spin the palms to the ceiling. So again, root your sitting bones down. Lift the sides of the waist up. Let your shoulder blades rise. Knuckle mounds lift. And bow chin to chest. And then separate your hands out to the sides and down. Take your left hand to the chair leg or chair seat. Take your right hand to the outside of the leg. Inhale, lift up, and as you exhale, gently twist to your left. Be mindful to press your leg and hand to each other so we don't push the knee into the midline. We'll take another breath here. And with your exhale, return to center. Take your right hand to the chair leg. Take your left hand to the outside of the left leg. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, gently rotate your torso to your right. Be aware of the breath moving in the body here. One more breath. And then exhale, slowly come to center. Let's extend the legs forward in staff pose or Dandasana. So ground the center of your heels, flex your toes in back towards the shin, spread your toes wide, contract the quadriceps and lift them upward towards the thighs. And then release, contract, release, contract, release. 3 more. And then bend the knees. So separate your feet wider than your sticky mat. And let's flex both of the feet in towards the shin. So a little work with internal rotation for the hips. So as you inhale, lift up. As you exhale, gently rock your right knee in towards the midline. And as you inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, gently rock your left knee in towards the midline. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop right knee to the midline. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left knee to the midline. Inhale, lift up. Right knee to the midline. Now, I'm going to pause here for a moment so that you can know that the thigh bone, the knee and the hip joint should line up, and so should the knee and the ankle. So be mindful to make that happen in your practice. As you exhale, drop your left knee in towards the midline. And then inhale up to center. And then we'll do 3 more, just gently rocking back and forth, maybe at a little faster pace, but you go at a pace that suits your needs. No need to force the body to do something that it's not ready to. And then walk your feet back into center. So eye of the needle is next, and we'll start by keeping the right leg extended out to straight. Cross your left ankle just below the knee. So feeling it possibly around your left hip. Use your hands to push down to keep the spine lifted. Keep the right leg active by contracting the quads and pressing the heel down, toes flex back in towards the shin. Now some of you may feel like, well, I need a little more than that, and that's okay. So bend your right knee and bring the left ankle above the knee. Flex the foot in. Okay. Keep the right knee, right ankle stacked directly over top of each other. And notice how that changed something in your pose. So use your hands to press down to lift up. And if you wish to add a little bit more into the posture, hold on to the chair back and lengthen the spine forward. So you'll have to hinge from your hips forward. Keep the sides of the waist long, collarbones lifting, shoulder blades are down the back. And then slowly bring the torso back over top of the pelvis. Release your left leg to the floor. Slide both legs out. Keep your left leg extended, but lift your right foot, cross the right ankle just below the knee. Inhale, lift up. Remember that you might want a little extra, so if that be the case, bend your left knee. Flex your right foot in. Notice how the flexing of the foot possibly changed something in the posture. And then if you wish to add a little more, hold onto the chair back, hinge from your hips forward, lengthen the spine towards the center of your room. And sometimes I have to tell myself, I am now directing my breath into my outer hip. Because I know students get confused sometimes when I'll say, well, how do I do that? Well, I have to use my imagination and my intention that the breath flows there. And then gently pull the torso back upright, release the foot, extend both legs long again. And then let's rebend knees. So we'll start with our sun salutations on the chair, and I'll go slowly through them. So let's bring hands to heart center. And as you exhale, bow head to heart. As you inhale, extend your arms forward and up. Now, what if keeping the palms together creates tension in your body? Separate the arms, maybe even wider if you need to. As you exhale, float your hands down, hinge from your hips forward, tilt the torso forward. So students with osteoporosis should keep the spine more upright, but for those who don't have it, let your hands slide down your legs as you exhale, bowing a little deeper into a forward bend. As you inhale, slide your hands back up, lift your chest. And then as you exhale, push yourself all the way back upright. Inhale, take your arms up and overhead. As you exhale, float your right knee to your chest. Keep the spine lifted. As you inhale, float the arms up, foot to floor. As you exhale, draw your left knee to your chest. As you inhale, float the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, float your hands down. Marjarasana, cat pose. As you inhale, give a little pull on the knees to lift your chest up. And as you exhale, round your spine. Let your gaze be towards the belly. As you inhale, lift the spine, lift your heart. As you exhale, round. As you inhale, lift. As you exhale, round. And as you inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, draw your right knee back into your chest. As you inhale, take the arms up. As you exhale, draw your left knee into your chest. As you inhale, take the arms up. And as you exhale, float your arms down. Now I'm going to turn my chair sideways so that you could possibly watch me do it from the side. You don't necessarily have to turn your chair sideways. Okay, so let's give it a try. We'll begin at hands at heart center. Exhale, bow chin to chest. As you inhale, extend your arms forward and up. Possibly take the arms apart or wider if needed. As you exhale, float your hands down. Inhale, and as you exhale, hinge the hips forward. Pause, keeping a more upright body if you have osteoporosis. For those who don't and have the range of motion in their body, bow forward. As you inhale, lift back up to the flat back, more upright. Then as you exhale, bring the spine directly over top of the pelvis. Inhale, take your arms up. This time we'll start with the left leg. I'll be doing my right, you'll be doing your left. As you exhale, float your left leg into the chest, squeeze. As you inhale, foot to floor, arms overhead. As you exhale, right leg to the chest, squeeze. As you inhale, arms up. As you exhale, hands down. Marjarasana. As you inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, round your spine. As you inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, round your spine. As you inhale, lift your chest. As you exhale, round your spine. Inhale, coming back upright, float your arms up. As you exhale, left knee to chest, squeeze. As you inhale, arms go up. As you exhale, right knee to chest, squeeze. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. So how was that? Hopefully good, simple and easy, just to get some movement in the body. Now I think I'll still keep my chair sideways, but I want to offer 2 ways to open up your hamstrings. So, seated, and then we'll do 1 standing for those who wish to have a little bit more. So draw your right knee into your chest, hook the belt around the heel mound, and extend your leg to straight. Now, I already feel it in my body, but if I didn't, I could bend the elbows out to the side and float the leg a little higher. That's totally up to you. You can even just have your leg here, especially if you're tighter in your hamstrings. But let's hold let's do for 3 more breaths. Directing the breath into the hamstrings. Now give a little pull with your arms so you lift the chest. So no rounding. And then bend the knee. Float that foot to the floor. And let's do the left one. So draw the left knee into the chest, put the belt around the heel mound of the foot, and extend the leg to straight. Now, there are differences in our bodies, so one side may be way tighter than the other, so honor that. We try to keep it at the same level if at all possible, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Flex your toes in, spread your toes wide, lift the chest up. And then again, you could bend the elbows out to the side for who needed the extra lift. And then bend the knees and float the foot to the floor. So I'll stand with the chair forward of me. Now, this may not work for everybody, and I'll show another modified version. So you could do a block to a chair seat and bring the foot onto the block. That's one option. For today, I'm going to turn my chair sideways. I've got the wall here if I needed it, but my Achilles tendon is going to go to the chair seat. So I want to tell my left foot to stay nice and straight because it's going to want to move. I'm going to bring that right ankle up onto the chair. Now I don't even need a belt here. We'll set that off to the side. But what happens for sometimes in my body is my hip will have a tendency to hike up. So I want to take the L shape of that hand and drop my hip down. Well, when I do that, then my foot wants to turn out. And I have to counter that by spinning the thigh bone, the right thigh bone in and down. So I get a lovely stretch up the back of my hamstrings while bringing in the outer hip. And then micro bend the knee and come down. So I'll take the left leg up. So when I ground through my right foot, bring my left leg up onto the chair back. And I have to check in, am I hiking my left hip up? I hyperextend, so popping the back of my knee down. So I have to keep a micro bend in my knee and really squeeze the bejesus out of my quadriceps. So I want to lift the bottom of the belly up, lift my chest, enjoy the sensation in the back of my leg. And then slowly come down. So now we're going to take the chair so that, let me see, got to play with it just a little bit so that I know the right height, and I probably am going to want a blanket so that I don't have my shin on that cold chair. Okay, so I'll have to turn my back to you, my apologies here. But I want to face the wall and hold on to the wall for support, and then bring my right knee and shin onto the chair and drop my foot off the back side so that we get a stretch along the quadriceps and the hip flexors of the front leg. Okay, so now I can keep both hands to the wall here, or I can walk one hand up and just use that for balance. So with my left foot, I want to ground into the 4 points of the foot, firm the thigh. And with the right leg, I want to lengthen the thigh bone towards the knee as I lift my belly. So for some of us, this may be enough, but if you're fairly open in your hip flexors and quads, then you can hold the ankle. Well, what happens if holding the ankle, maybe you don't like the chair, maybe you can't quite hold the ankle, and what do? You make a small loop with your belt, your tie, and you hold it at the ankle and then draw up. Now, my knee, because of tight quads and hip flexors, wants to pop forward. No, I have to keep it knee to knee. Now lift the bottom of the belly up. And release down. So let's go back to the chair and try it on the other leg. Okay, so I'll turn my back to you again, my apologies. Hands to the wall. Now bring my left knee up onto the chair. Hands to wall if I need. I want to ground the right foot, engage the right quadricep, lengthen the left thigh bone towards the floor. Maybe add the top arm up the wall. Keep the bottom of the belly lifted. And then let's do it with the belt so that you can see the difference. Okay, so I've got my small loop again, my wall for balance. I'm going to place my left front ankle in the belt, creep my hand towards the foot, and then bring it knee to knee. Whoop. Bring it knee to knee. I need to be looking straight ahead instead of what the camera's doing. Okay, so lengthen the thigh bone towards the floor. Engage your right quadriceps and lift the bottom of your belly up. Yes. And then slowly float the foot to the floor. So now put the belt down and we'll look at a couple of standing poses. We'll look at Trikonasana. We'll half forward bend first, and I'm going to do it with the chair. You'll do it at the wall. And Virabhadrasana 2. So, I'm going to put the block right there. I'm going to spin my chair around. And this could be used, but it can be a little slippery at times, so you'll have to be really careful. But I want to imagine that this is a wall in front of me. So if you're doing it at home with the wall, you're going to bring your hands waistline height, okay? So here's my wall. I'm going to imagine I'm pressing my hands into the wall, walk my feet back, and I'm going to place my wrist bones on the chair. So now I have my feet so that they stack directly underneath the hips, and my My spine is long, and I'm imagining I have my hands to a wall. Now, what happens if this is your body? You've got a round in your spine. There's a couple of things you could do. If you're using a chair, you could bend your knees to flatten the back. Or if you're using the wall from the half forward bend, you could walk your hands up the wall like this. All are nice. Okay, so Trikonasana with the use of a wall. So I want to position myself so that my right leg turns toward the chair. Turns towards the wall. Okay, so I take a wide stance. Now my hand's going to go to the wall. It's not going to go down to a block today because that's not doable for everybody. But your stance should be about 4 to 4.5 feet apart. Turn your left leg in about 15 or 20 degrees and turn your right leg out full 90. And then you can bring your arms up to shoulder level. Now, press your feet down into the floor and firm your thighs. Lift your belly. Lift out through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, extend your right side body toward the wall till you find your fingertips touching the wall. And then turn your left palm to face forward. So I'm keeping the right side of the body just as open as I am the left side of the body. So we could hold for 3, 6, 9, 12 breaths if you wanted to. And then to come out, we press the feet into the floor, fingertips into the wall, rise upward, turn your feet forward. Let's bring our hands to the hips and then step feet together. Now spin going to the other side for the left side. So step your feet nice and wide apart. The stance for triangle pose is about 4 to 4.5 feet. Turn your right foot in, turn your left leg out, bring your arms up shoulder level. Press the 4 points of your feet down, firm your thighs, lift your belly, lift your chest, lengthen out to the crown of your head, and on your exhale, extend the left side of the body towards the wall. Find the wall with your left fingertips. Turn your right palm forward. Trikonasana to the left. Come up and out of your pose. Press your feet down. Push your fingertips into the wall to bring you upward. Turn your feet forward. Step your feet together. So, now we look at Warrior 2 with the use of a wall. I was going to teach it with a block, but I've decided not to. So let's take a wide stance, and we're going to just use the wall there for our right fingertips. Turn your right foot in, turn your left leg out. Press your feet down, firm your thighs, lift your belly, bring your arms up, shoulder level. Okay, now look down at your front foot. Make sure that the heel of your front foot aligns with the arch of your back foot. As you exhale, bend your front knee so that you stack the front knee over top of the ankle and press your fingertips into the wall. Okay. Now I'm going to turn and face you and show you what it would look like straight ahead. So I'm going to imagine the wall is here in front of me. So as I exhale, I want to bend the front knee. So I can bring hands to hips if need be, but I also want to imagine I've got my fingertips on the wall when you're going to the right. And then inhale, straighten the front leg. Turn your feet forward. Step it together. So let's try it to the left. Okay? Nice wide stance. Turn your right foot in, your left leg out. Bring your arms up shoulder level. As you exhale, bend your front knee, stacking the front knee over top of the ankle. Let your fingertips find the wall. Repress your feet into the floor. Refirm your thighs, lift your belly, lift your chest. Lift out through the crown of the head. And as you inhale, straighten your front leg. Turn your feet together. Step together. So, I'm going to spin my mat long ways to demo what's next. So we'll have, if you don't have your blocks at home, then we can just use a blanket or two underneath the sacrum, and I'll show that. So I come down to my back body. I want to have my block handy. I'm going to have a blanket or two handy. Get this one off the chair here. Okay. So I'm going to recline onto the back and then take the arms overhead, leg out. Okay? So keep the feet flexed in, and as you exhale, float your right knee into your chest. Give a little tug. Make sure your left leg is active by contracting your quadriceps. Press your inner thigh bone in and down. Foot flexes in. And then inhale, float the arms overhead, leg out. Exhale, float the left knee in. Inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Let's do that 2 more times, alternating on each side. Exhaling draws the knee in. The inhale takes the leg out. And then exhale, float the arms down by your sides. So this is where I need my block. It's a supported bridge pose. If you have a block, you can do the lowest level or you could do the middle height. Either one is fine. So I'll show it with the block and then I'll show it possibly with the blankets. So as I inhale, I want to press the feet down and slide the block under the sacrum. So it's sacrum and the top of the back of the pelvis. And then I can stack one knee towards the chest, the other knee towards the chest, bring the legs together and take the legs upward towards the ceiling. So a little modified shoulder stand here. Number one thing to do here is never, ever, ever, ever turn the head while in a shoulder stand position. So this might be somewhere that you might want to stop the video and then go into the pose and come back out and start it back up. So I'm going to bring my legs down to the floor. I'm going to lift my hips up and slide the block out to the side and show how you can do this with blankets or your beach towels. So I've slid the blankets underneath the sacrum and towards the top of the back pelvis. One what might feel nicer to you than the other. I'll stack the right knee and then the left knee, bring my legs together and take the legs upward towards the ceiling. So again, another variation of modified shoulder stand, Sarvangasana. Legs are active here, so I'm squeezing the thigh muscles towards each other, spinning my thigh bones back and lifting up through the 4 points of my feet. And then let's bend the knees, float the feet to the floor. Now before we come out, I want you to squeeze and contract the buttock muscles. We'll do 6. This is just a way of resetting things. And then press your feet into the floor. Lift your hips up, slide your blankets out to the side. Now we're going to roll over to the right side, push myself upward, and we'll set up for Shavasana. And I said earlier you might need a bolster. If you have one, It's going to be about the thickness of 2 blankets, and well, maybe a 3rd blanket, and pretty firm. I don't have one out here with me, and I don't really want to get up and go to the proper room and get one, so I'm going to use both blankets. Now, if you have 3 beach towels out with you, 2 could be your makeshift bolster, and 1 can go up underneath the neck and the head. So allow your arms to be out by your sides about 6 inches. And then give your body permission to let go into Shavasana for a good 5, 10, 15 minutes. So for the purposes of the video, the Shavasana will be very short. So to come out, I'm going to bend my knees. Place the feet to the bolster or the blankets. Gently rock knees side to side. Now once my knees are back to center, I want to sweep that right arm up and overhead and roll over onto the right side of my body and let my head rest to the arm. And then very slowly, use your hands to push yourself upward. I'm going to pull my blankets back up underneath me into a comfortable cross-legged position. And I just want to take a moment to encourage you all to get up, be moving, to find something to appreciate in life, whether it's the sunrise, the sunset, a beautiful flower, a baby's laughter, anything to keep your spirits up. Join your palms together in front of your heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Namaste.